Shalom Israel, thank you for stopping by my channel. Before we get started, please like, share, and subscribe. I've been walking this walk since 2015 and I have read many books since then. One being, of course, Torah, and the other, the Apocrypha. And upon my studies, there's so many books that are actually mentioned in our Bibles / Torah that we cannot find and that I haven't been able to find. I've been looking up like crazy. When I say I research. And these books are nowhere to be found. But let's go over some of them. You probably never heard of them, or you probably just looked past them and didn't think anything of it. But I'm just going to do a short lesson today and share what those books, names, and titles actually are. And you can find them in your very own Bible.
Proverbs 2:10. When wisdom entereth into thine heart, knowledge is pleasant unto thy soul. I love that scripture. All glory to the Father that our people are waking up. And when we've been lost for so long or lied to for so long, it's natural for us to want to seek knowledge. But before I get into this video, I just want to encourage those that are new coming into this truth and to the knowledge of self to slow your roll and not to dabble in many books. What you should mainly be focused on, what all of us should be focused on, is the law, statutes, and commandments. If you're new to this truth, I encourage you to study these things first. 1, study the law, statutes, and commandments. Know what your high holy days are. Study your ancestors, meaning your forefathers and foremothers. Study your history. If it doesn't line up with Torah, then it's fake history. Study who you're supposed to be as a husband, as a wife, as a mother, as a sister or a brother. Study what Yah hates, and study fellowship, meaning how you're supposed to treat your brothers and sisters while in this truth and gathering ourselves together,
as well as the dietary laws. And like I said, if you're going to go into other books, make sure it lines up with Torah. If it doesn't line up with Torah, it's not history. Enjoy the milk before the meat.
I encourage you to take baby steps and be consistent and watch how the Most High change your life.
The saying goes, if you want to hide something from a so-called black person, put it in a book. But they didn't know, or they must have forgot that we was about to wake up. Because now all we do is read, study, and apply. I get so mad seeing and knowing all of our history is hidden in within that Vatican. Sometimes I just want us to uprise and just take every piece of history and literature out of there. Whew, Yah's willing one day. But until then, I guess we'll get into these lost books. Joshua 10:13 mentions the book of Jasher. And it says, "And the sun stood still, and the moon stayed, until the people had avenged themselves upon their enemies. Is not this written in the book of Jasher? So the sun stood still in the midst of heaven, and hasted not to go down about a whole day." 2 Samuel 1:18 also mentions the book of Jasher. It says, "Also he bade them teach the children of Judah the use of the bow. Behold, it is written in the book of Jasher." The next book is called The Manner of the Kingdom, also known as the Book of Statutes. 1 Samuel 10:25. Then Samuel told the people the manner of the kingdom and wrote it in a book and laid it up before the Lord. And Samuel sent all the people away, every man to his house. That is called the manner of the kingdom. I wish I could read that. It sounds interesting. Next up are 3 books in one. 1, Samuel the seer. 2, Nathan the prophet. 3, Gad the seer. 1 Chronicles 29, verse 29. Now the acts of David the king, first and last, behold, they are written in the book of Samuel the seer, and in the book of Nathan the prophet, and in the book of Gad the seer. I remember after reading Kings, I was just so happy to get to Chronicles, because all through Kings, all you hear is it not written in the book of the Chronicles? And I was like, yes! I got to the Chronicles, all them dang begots. I said, Father, first of all, I cannot read all these ghetto names. I had to turn on my audio Bible, was mad again because I hate hearing the other nation's voice reading our word. I'm like, can one of our peoples make an audio Bible, please, with us talking? Because it would be way more fascinating, okay? I was just, It's begots after begots after begots. Kanisha, Renisha, Aisha, and Sharia. But anywho, let's get back to the subject. Okay, the next are 3 books in one again. And first is Nathan the prophet, 2, Ahijah the Shilonite, and 3, Iddo the seer. 2 Chronicles 9 and 29. Now the rest of the acts of Solomon, first and last, are they not written in the book of Nathan the prophet, and in the prophecy of Ahijah the Shilonite, and in the vision of Iddo the seer against Jeroboam the son of Nebat? For those of you that don't know, Ahijah the Shilonite was a Levite prophet in Shiloh in the days of Solomon. As mentioned in the Hebrew Bible's first book of Kings, Ahijah foretold to Jeroboam that he would become king. But as we all know, the J was not on the tip of nobody's lips back in the day, so his name actually would be pronounced Ahijah. And I apologize, but I couldn't find much information on Iddo the prophet, but I do know and found out that his name means mighty. I keep calling him Iddo, I keep calling him Iddo, Iddo, who do you do, okay? Hopefully in the kingdom, he'll still give me dap. We can get this name situated, and we could break bread. But look, in 2 Chronicles 13 and 22, it says, and the rest of the acts of Abijah and his ways and his sayings are written in the story of the prophet Iddo, or Iddo. We're going to get this straight in the kingdom for real. Cuddy! Next up is the Acts of Solomon. Now, I wonder if the Acts of Solomon and the Wisdom of Solomon the same thing. In one of my books, it also titles it The Testament of Solomon. So whoever knows that answer, please drop it in the comments. But yes, it is mentioned in 1 Kings 11 and 41, the Acts of Solomon, and it reads, and the rest of the acts of Solomon and all that he did and his wisdom, are they not written in the book of the Acts of Solomon? So they do mention wisdom here, so I can see how they got Wisdom of Solomon. But yeah, still drop them in the comments. I love to hear from you. All right, next up is Shemaiah the prophet. I hope you guys are enjoying yourselves. This was fun learning. I hope you're having fun learning as well. Okay, 2 Chronicles 12 and 15. Now the acts of Rehoboam, first and last, are they not written in the book of Shemaiah the prophet and of Iddo the seer concerning genealogies? And there were wars between Rehoboam and Jeroboam continually. Shemaiah prophesied to the children of Israel that they shouldn't go against their brothers, the northern tribe. Shemaiah's words were obeyed, and the army stood still. 2 Chronicles 20 and 34 mentions the book of Jehu and the books of the kings of Israel. And it reads, now the rest of the acts of Jehoshaphat, first and last, behold, they are written in the book of Jehu, the son of Hananiah, who is mentioned in the books of the kings of Israel. I think this next one would be awesome to read, and it is called The Sayings of the Seers. 2 Chronicles 33 and 19. His prayers also, and how God was entreated of him in all his sins and his trespasses, and the places wherein he built high places and set up groves and graven images, before he was humbled. Behold, they are written among the sayings of the seers. All right, next up on the list is the Book of the Covenant. It says in Exodus 24 and 7, and he took the book of the covenant and read it in the audience of the people. And they said, all that the Lord hath said will we do, and be obedient. They was lying like a mug if y'all read that chapter. Ooh, I was mad.
A couple of chapters later, them ninjas was shooting dice, throwing house parties, worshiping idols. Aaron was like, look, man, when Moses came down, he like, look, man, look, I don't know why you left me down here with these ninjas, bruh. Moses came down like, Aaron, what the hell? I gave you one job, bro. He's like, look, man, these ninjas got me popping ibuprofen like it's M&M's. You came down glowing. I've been sweating bullets. These people stressing me out. Come get your folks. Shouldn't have left me with these ninjas. Okay, y'all, back to the subject. You know I be going off, but I was mad. Now I know some that do believe that Exodus 20 through 23 are the books of the covenant, but please drop your thoughts in the comments. I want to read this next one so bad. It's called The Books of the War of the Lord. That sounds like fire. Okay, and it reads, Numbers 21 and 14. Wherefore it is said in the books of the wars of the Lord, what he did in the Red Sea and in the brooks of Aaron. Next up is the book of Uzziah the prophet. 2 Chronicles 26 and 22. Now the rest of the acts of Uzziah, first and last, did Isaiah the prophet, the son of Amoz, write. Next up is the book of the laws of Moses. 2 Chronicles 25 and 4. But he slew not their children, but did as it is written in the law in the book of Moses, where the Lord commanded, saying, The father shall not die for the children, neither shall the children die for the fathers, but every man shall die for his own sin. All right, this next one can be questionable, I'll say that, but the books of records, maybe. And I'm going to show you why I say maybe. Okay, I say maybe because Esther 6 and 1 says this. On that night could not the king sleep, and he commanded to bring the books of records of the Chronicles, and they were read before the king. So I don't know if that's the book of the records or if that's the book of Chronicles. So please drop your answers and thoughts in the comments. You know, ever since my husband passed, I've been studying on my own, so that I do not know everything. He told me to go hard in the paint. And so I go hard in the paint when I study, but does not mean everything I say is right. So this is a group discussion. Please drop your thoughts in the comments. Next up is the book of Media and the Persians, also called the book of the Persians and the Medes. And Esther 10 and 2 says, In all the acts of his power and of his might, and the declarations of the greatness of Mordecai, whereunto the king advanced him, are they not written in the book of the Chronicles of the kings of Media and Persians? All right, Israel, I pray that y'all enjoyed that, but that is all that I have so far. I am still studying, I'm still learning and applying. Unfortunately, a lot of our history was just whitewashed and taken away, and a lot of it is hidden in this wicked Vatican that it just makes me upset. But what they can't take from us, they took away or tried to take away our history. They tried to change and did change laws. They tried to make us forget completely who we are, but the Most High didn't allow it. This Vatican is the dang devil. I want our stuff. Shoot. This is ridiculous. Look at all them books. You know our stuff is up in there. And then they price these books at ridiculous prices. That $50,000. Are you serious? Like, it's crazy what they price these things at, and it shows the hatred that they have and the determination to keep us asleep. But keep trusting the Most High. What they cannot take away from us at the end of the day is these laws, statutes, and commandments. So study, pray, and apply. And with that, I say shalom.